Okay, I jumped ahead a little bit here because we covered all of this in the plugin tutorial. Um, Basically, what I did is I went ahead and I created a class library project. I called it AddIn tutorial. Actually, I called it tutorial 2, I think. I set up my references already. I added my using statements. I set it back to use .NET 2.0. The only one difference to setting up the workspace for an add-in is when we build the project, we want to have it build the DLL file to the Vixen add-ins folder. That's the only difference from getting started. So you can go ahead and set that up. So just like plugins, we have to make our class, in this case our class is AddIn tutorial, implement an interface from Vixen. For add-ins, that interface is AddIn. Kind of makes sense. Go ahead, right click on it, and you can implement the interface. This works exactly as before in the plugin tutorial. That's kind of why I was saying that a lot of the things are so similar between the two. I don't think at this point it's really going to be difficult. If you got through the plugin tutorial, okay, you're definitely going to get through this, okay. So you'll notice a couple of familiar guys down here. The author. So let's go ahead and just return that as we did before. Description. Return. Let's say this is AddIn tutorial. And a name. This is all exactly the same as it was in our plugin example. Let's just call this tutorial 2. Now you'll notice we with add-ins we do not need to do a protected override or a public override like of toString like we did in the plugin example. Vixen will pick this up with absolutely no problem. Now you'll notice that there's a lot less to do here in an add-in compared to a plugin. I think that's why, in my mind, an add-in is actually easier. There are only 4 things that we have to fill in. We have to fill in loading, execute, unloading, and loadable data location. And I'll go through them one by one on exactly what they are. But for now, just keep in your mind loading, execute, and unloading. That's the sequence of what's going on. So let's take a quick look like we did in the plugin. We just want to make sure that we have the order of when different things are getting called. This is just running the IRA went through and made the add-in just to make sure it worked. So when we click on this add-in tutorial, immediately loading gets run first, and then immediately after that execute gets run. Execute is where we do our main code, and in this case we opened up the dialog box, and then when we close it, we're doing putting the values in that channel also in execute. But when the plugin is closing down, the unloading function gets called. So that's all we have to handle for an add-in.